name's Robin and welcome to Film Talk on my channel RobzarrGoesRawr. Now today we're going to be talking about Deadpool. Now I know this film's been out for a little while now. I never got a chance to talk about it in a video, so I'm playing catch up on a few films over the next couple of weeks, which is a pain in the ass, but you know, I want them on the channel, so I'm going to do them anyway. So yeah, Deadpool. First and foremost, I want to say that I have been to see Deadpool. I've seen it a few times, and I really liked it. It was funny, it was true to the comics in every way it could be, and overall I think it was probably one of the best Marvel films that we've had over the last couple of years. Now, it's no secret that Deadpool is R-rated, in American terms. I think it was an 18 in the UK. I don't know if that's actually what it was though, so don't quote me on that. It was either a 15 or an 18. I imagine it was an 18 because of all the swearing and nakedness and sex. But yeah, obviously it was a very kind of like, it was an adult superhero film. Now, for those of you who don't know, who don't follow the Marvel comics, or just you went to see it because it looked funny, which is, you know, a lot of people did because it was. So for those of you who don't know, Deadpool, you ruined what I was about to say then. Deadpool is actually a part of the X-Men universe. If you couldn't get that from the actual film where they had the X-Men characters in it, then I'm just going to confirm that right now. Deadpool is part of the X-Men mutant universe within Marvel, which is separate to the Avengers. So Deadpool won't actually appear in the Avengers films, I don't think. He'll be part of the mutant universe. Now, as I say, Deadpool is... it's violent, there's swearing, there's nudity, there's sex, there's crudeness everywhere, and that is Deadpool's character. You couldn't have done a successful Deadpool film without it. I think Ryan Reynolds did fantastic as Deadpool. Obviously a lot better than he was in X-Men Wolverine Origins, which was a fucking diabolical film. It was good to see Ryan Reynolds come back into Deadpool with a fresh mind, and know that he wants to do it properly, which they did. Now, that sparks up some kind of questions about what Deadpool is going to do next with regards to, will he be included in any of the universe. Now, Deadpool 2 has been confirmed. It was basically confirmed at the end of Deadpool 1, at the end of the credits, so, you know, that's how that was, but it's been confirmed since in writing. So Deadpool 2 is going to happen, so that'll be the same kind of format as Deadpool 1, obviously. But, as we know, Marvel characters that exist within the same universe, at some point they cross over, which is what's happened with Avengers, and now we've got the Infinity Wars coming on. Deadpool obviously appeared in Wolverine Origins, like I said, even if it was a really bad version of him. He did appear in Wolverine Origins. And now that he's come back in full form, in complete Deadpool gloriousness, basically, in... the right way that he should be in film, it sparks up a lot of questions as to if he appears in the mutant universe, does that mean that the mutant universe is going to become R-rated? Now, X-Men as a whole is... obviously it's a superhero film franchise, you know, but it's not just aimed at adults, it's aimed at kids as well. I mean, there's a lot of violence in it, but you know, it's no different to the Avengers, it's no different to the DC universe. So, you know, it's basically kid friendly. There's no swearing, there's no nudity, there's nothing that, everything that Deadpool has to make it Deadpool doesn't appear in the mutant universe. So there are going to be kids, I'm not saying like young kids, obviously parents wouldn't allow their like pre-teens to watch this kind of film, but there will be kids from like 10 and up, maybe even younger than that actually, because a few of my parents' kids who are younger than 10 have seen a lot of the Avengers and mutant films. So maybe even younger than 10 would have seen these X-Men TV shows, X-Men films. So if they go and throw Deadpool into that mix, that select audience of young people, which, let's be honest, is what superheroes are aimed at. You know, I mean, the superhero like community as a whole now is very much catering to both adults and kids, but originally, because what X-Men 1 is obviously one of the oldest superhero films there is, as of this generation, and that was very much aimed at kids. That was when that kind of film was aimed at kids. So it's kind of a case of if Deadpool gets thrown into that, what are we going to do about aiming it at kids now? Because they couldn't take away Deadpool's what's the word I'm looking for? Personality traits, I guess. They couldn't take away how he is, because then it wouldn't be Deadpool. It wouldn't work. And the only reason it works on film, because there was a lot of controversy about whether Deadpool would work on film, and that was mainly based around him breaking the fourth rule. And a lot of people actually didn't like it that he would speak to the audience in the film. I thought it was brilliant, because obviously he does it in the comic books, you know. He knows he's in a comic book. And I've played the game, he knows he's in a game, and watched the film, and he knows he's in a film, you know. That's just how Deadpool works. So without that, and without him being crude and swearing every other word, and without him being basically how he is in the film, it wouldn't work for him to be in an X-Men film if he wasn't like that. So it begs the question, will there ever be a Deadpool Mutant Universe crossover with Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool as he is now? And it's kind of a thing where I would really like it to happen, but I am 23 years old. I haven't got any kind of restrictions on what films I can and can't watch. For younger people, it would be a case of they would have to wait or until it comes out on DVD. And you know, a lot of people, when it comes, like I'm one of these people that I will wait till the film comes out on DVD most of the times, or I'll watch it online on Netflix or whatever. But with superhero films and sci-fi films and things like Star Wars, I got every Batman film, I've got every Avengers film, I like my DVD collection is mainly built up of sci-fi and superhero and fantasy, that kind of thing. And they're all films that I would have gone to see in the cinema. You know, there isn't a Marvel film that I have not gone to see at the cinema since Iron Man 1. There isn't a DC film that I haven't gone to see in the cinema since Dark Knight. No, Batman Begins. Since Batman Begins. That, you know, I've seen films like that I will go and see in the cinema. And, you know, up until now, that's been catered for. These kinds of films have been accepted as kids being able to go and see them. You know, if Deadpool gets thrown into the X-Men universe, then I don't think that will be able to happen. But that being said, there's still kind of like, that is the X-Men universe coming to an end now, like as we know it, with the characters and the actors that it's got, is it coming to an end? And if that's the case, then does that mean it's going to be rebooted in the form and style of how Deadpool is created? And it's kind of like I said, we all know Marvel. When they've got a character that is within the same universe as another character, they will cross over. You know, that's just how they work. That's how they planned out the whole Avengers universe. That's how they're going to plan out. I imagine that's how they're going to plan out the Mutant Universe as well. But does that mean they're going to be doing it with the characters they've got now, or does that mean they're going to be bringing in a new set? And it's just kind of like, you know, the X-Men characters that appeared in Deadpool, the film, they are from the X-Men films that we've got now. So, you know, it's kind of a case of, will they bump up X-Men to R rating purely to facilitate for Deadpool? Or will we see more X-Men characters coming into the Deadpool world? You know, it could work either way, and either way it sucks because, well, it doesn't suck for me, obviously, I'm really happy about it, but either way, for a younger audience it would suck, because obviously they can't go and see Deadpool. There is no way anyone under the age of 15 would have gone to see Deadpool at the cinema, and it's kind of a case of superhero films aren't being ultimately directed at kids anymore. You know, there's a big thing about superhero superhero TV shows and superhero films that is very much adult orientated. And, you know, as a 23-year-old, you know, I'd stretch as far as to say I'm an adult now, just about. I'd say I've hit adult. And and I still absolutely love them. And you know, I've got friends at my work, and I've got friends like in general, and like some of my friends are older than me, and you know, some of the people I work with, they're older than me, but they still love the superhero worlds that are being created at the moment. And it's kind of a case of, we've grown up with it. We've grown up with the worlds the superhero worlds that have been created now. So it makes sense for films to evolve with us, in the same way that the Harry Potter universe developed from Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone to Deathly Hallows Part 2. Every film got darker and darker, and the film was growing with the audience that it catered to when it first came out in the cinema. So in a similar way, the films grew up with the audience, and that's how the Avengers has gone, basically. The films have definitely grown up with the audience, and for that reason, it begs the question, is the superhero culture eventually going to be more aimed at adults in cinema? You know, there are plenty of TV shows and plenty of animated things that are purely for kids. TV shows on Netflix, however, are very much more aimed at adults. But Deadpool is an adult person's superhero. There is, you know, kids can read the comics, they can do what they want, but whether they understand it or not, I don't know. You know, it's kind of like, I feel like a Deadpool film would be wasted on a younger person, because they wouldn't quite understand the jokes. And you know, you don't have to have read the Deadpool comics to understand the jokes in Deadpool the film, but you do have to be of a certain age. And you know, I know that's rich coming from me, because you know, a lot of the young people grow up a lot faster than people did when I was younger, and that's thanks to technology and things like that. You know, technology has made young people grow up a lot faster than they did when I was a young person. I think I got my my first phone when I was like 12 years old. Now they've got them from like 8 or something. It's crazy. So I know young people are growing up faster, but you know, they're still of an age that it would be frowned upon for them to see a film like Deadpool at that age. Does that make sense? It's kind of, I don't know. And I didn't want to record this video in the frame of mind that I actually wanted to talk about what I thought of Deadpool as a movie. I actually do like what I've talked about is what I wanted to talk about, like in the future, like the future of Deadpool. What is he gonna have in store for us? Not story wise, but how is a character like Deadpool going to affect the superhero cinematic world? Because it's going to affect it a lot. If Marvel decide to start crossing other characters with Deadpool, they're either going to have to keep the characters coming over to the Deadpool films, or they're going to have to start making other film franchises within Marvel R-rated. That's all they can do. And you know, Spider-Man is another big one, because yes, he's part of the mutant universe, but he's also part of he's part of the Avengers universe, but yes, he's also part of the mutant universe, and yes, he's also part of Deadpool stories. And Spider-Man is kind of like an all-rounder, and obviously Spider-Man's been confirmed for Captain America Civil War. That's out now. I haven't seen it yet. I probably would have seen it by the time you guys see this. I'm actually seeing it on Saturday, which for me is 5 days away, but for you I would have already seen it, so there'll be a video coming out on that in the near future. But it's kind of a case of, how is the Marvel industry going to develop now they've got Deadpool? And it's going to have to. It's going to have to. And I don't want you to think that I'm saying this is a negative thing, because I don't think they could have done Deadpool any other way than they did. If they had done him any other way, it wouldn't have worked. So the fact that they did it and they kept it true to Deadpool, how he is in the comic books, and they got every single aspect of his personality into that film, is fantastic, and I really liked it. And as a comic book fan, it was really great to see. But it just begs the question, is the Marvel Universe going to be developing it into something that is more aimed at adults now, as far as cinema goes? Because, you know, kids can still access the cartoons and things like that, and they're completely fine for them, but as far as live action goes, I think we're going to see a big old change in Marvel cinema. That being said, DC is exactly the same. You know, if you guys didn't know, Batman vs Superman is actually going to get an R-rated extended version when it comes out on DVD. But obviously they didn't show it in the cinema because, again, they have to cater to kids. But they didn't do. But they're kind of giving us the best of both worlds because, you know, Batman and Superman don't really have a trait that defines them when it comes to being R-rated, whereas Deadpool does. But, you know, Batman vs Superman even still is still getting an R-rated cut. So it's not just Marvel that's developing, it's DC as well, and it's a superhero world as a whole, since Deadpool has come around, is going to be developing very dramatically to be a lot more aimed at adults, I feel. And again, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's fantastic, but I think for the younger audiences, they're going to start missing out on a lot of things, which is strange because originally that's what superheroes are aimed at. They're aimed at the younger audiences, and now they're catering to people like me and people that are older than me, that want to see these films and grow up with these films. And you know, they're doing that. The films are growing up with the audience, and it's great. But it just means what about the younger people? I mean, I know there's like a backlog of films they could watch, but as far as cinema goes, the things that come out in the cinema are going to be things that have grown up with an older audience. So yeah, I'm really excited for Deadpool 2. I'm really excited to see how Marvel are going to handle the transition between Deadpool and X-Men, because obviously X-Men, the new X-Men, I can't remember if the new X-Men's out yet. It's either out or it's coming out really soon. Looks really good, but there's rumours that that's going to be the last one, and it's kind of, I don't know where the mutant universe is going at the moment as far as cinema is concerned. But I would really like to see Deadpool mixed in with the mutant universe. I think it would be brilliant. But again, it kind of begs the question of just will the younger audiences approve of it? Because ultimately that's what superheroes should be aimed at, not us oldies. And I should be calling myself an oldie. I'm 23 years old, not exactly that old, but you know, it's a kid's thing, superhero. It's not an adult thing, and now it is. You know, it's crazy. So I want to know what you think about this in the comments below. Let me know what you think about what I've said. Let me know what your views are on whether Marvel and DC, but mainly Marvel as far as this video is concerned with Deadpool, are they going to be giving us more R-rated content? What your thoughts are about that. So let me know what you think in the comments below about that. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Make sure you keep an eye out for the rest of the videos that are coming out on the channel this week. And until the next time you hear from me, guys, as always, stay classy, gamers.